And welcome to another edition of Odyssey House Journals. I'm Trip Mitchell. That is Randall Carlisle.
Hello. You got the name right this time.
Both the show and Randall.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, this is two for two.
This
if you look
great.
right over there, there's a cue card.
Yeah.
There's a gentleman.
Hello, my name is Trip Mitchell, and welcome to another edition of Odyssey House Journals. You read that well. Yeah.
So, originally, the name of our show was going to be Odyssey House Journeys.
Right.
And why did we change that?
Sounded better? I don't know.
Anyway, we changed it, and I still, when you have an old host, new tricks are difficult.
And an even older host as well.
But we have, first of all, let's talk a little bit about the show that was posted last Friday, and obviously it's going to be way back, but at the end of the month of September, we had Mindy Vincent on, who is a great guest.
And she's from the Utah Harm Reduction Coalition, and she started a recovery group called Rebel Recovery, which, go ahead, you can say what she said.
Her philosophy is that after a point, once you're in recovery, you can drink again.
Well, she said you're not in recovery anymore. You're recovered.
Yeah.
And so it's over.
And many of us who are in 12-step programs feel that this is something you never are recovered. This is something you are battling for the rest of your life.
She claims she can socially drink again, which you and I, who are alcoholics, dream of being able to do, and it's written about in the big book, of Alcoholics Anonymous. But I know that if I had one drink, I'd have 20, and so I can't ascribe to her philosophy, and I guess I'm not recovered. I am recovering.
Sure. And I agree with that philosophy 100%. And I've seen it with thousands of people and myself, where you think that you've got things figured out, have a beer, and things go poorly. So you've probably guessed, if you've watched up the first 2 minutes of the show, that this is a show about recovery. And we get a chance to meet some amazing people in the Utah recovery community. We're going to give a phone number out for Odyssey House. And that's if you have any questions for yourself, friend, loved one, give them a call. They'll be glad to give you some great information and not necessarily point you to Odyssey House. There are many, many great recovery centers in the state of Utah. There's 12-step programs that are totally free. So if you need help, it's out there. And for those of you listening on either iTunes or one of our other platforms,
Spotify,
801-322-3222.
You got that right now. You don't need me anymore. That's all I was good for.
This is amazing. I go out and get married, and now not only do I know your name, but the name of the show and the phone number.
And the name of your wife. Way to go.
Old, what's her name?
Yeah, right.
Speaking of names, introduce us to our guest this
Jordan,
week.
I don't know. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Omrishi?
Yeah.
Jordan Omrishi. And I must say, a few months ago, when this show will air, in September, we had Recovery Day down at the Gallivan Center, and we had literally thousands of people in recovery there celebrating recovery. Jordan and Odyssey House had a booth down there, and Jordan came up and talked to me and just described what he's going to be showing us today as what. And all, you say you go to certain treatment centers and you do this, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
So these are Tibetan singing bowls, or Himalayan singing bowls, and they're ancient bowls from over in the Himalayas. There's new ones being made. The ones I use are between 300 and 500 years old, and they were used in the healing practices over there in the Himalayas.
Healing practices. So how does this fit into, say, a recovery center, like if you came to Odyssey House or something like that?
So what I do with them in the recovery centers is a form of massage therapy. I'm a licensed massage therapist, and you can place these on the body and let the vibrations
You hear that?
massage.
Wow.
Now, what you did with me was you had me hold it in my hand. Have Trip
Yeah.
hold it in his hand and
Show
just
you,
describe.
so you can feel it.
That is incredible.
And then what's it supposed to? What's it supposed to do?
So they work on the bowls. Basically, work on every part of your body, your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, nervous system, the lymph, the blood, organs, and it's a really great way to support the people that are going through their treatments. They need a lot of support, physically as well. A lot of them are in really hard working jobs, or physical or mentally stressful jobs. I've come across a lot of people that are in construction.
So Jordan, you look at kind of this holistic approach to...
Yeah.
Right, which, that's why I wanted him to come on, because we're looking at a bunch of different things dealing with recovery and addiction, and if this is one thing that might help in that road to recovery, why not talk about it?
Well, and you make a good point, and I've talked to people in recovery who, things like acupuncture, acupressure, you don't know what it's going to take, because all of our systems are different.
Right.
And if something a little bit out of mainstream works, because so far medicine has not come up with a cure for addiction.
For sure. So when you're using this therapy, do you put it on, how does it work? You put like a bowl on my back or something like that, and then...
Well, so what we do in a group setting is everybody pairs up in partners, and I have enough bowls for every group to have a bowl, and I teach them how to play it on each other. So, I can work with a group of 20 people, and everybody can get a massage in an hour and a half.
Wow.
And you start at the feet and work up through the back, and then come back down, then turn over, work through the arms, chest, organs. I just kind of show everybody how it works.
And the size of the bowls determine the sound?
So these ones have a deeper sound, and these ones have a little bit higher sound. And so the bowls...
That's soothing right there to listen to.
Lee, are you picking this up?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. I looked at these bowls and thought I was getting a haircut. Very exciting that I'm not. But just holding that in my hand and feeling those vibrations. What are some of the, Jordan, what are some of the results that you've gotten from this?
In my own private practice, where I do these, I help people with a lot of physical problems.
For instance,
a guy came in to see me who was just hobbling, like severe back pain, and turns out he had a degenerative disc, arthritis, and neuropathy, in his low back and down his legs.
And those were his good things.
Yeah. No, that was his problem, his bad things. But he completely healed. It took a while, but after about 6 months, he was out jogging, 5 miles a day, and
with no other treatment than this.
No other treatment. We found out he had the problems because he went and saw the doctors and had the CT scans and all that, and so I worked through that. I worked with him on that, but in the treatment centers, people just they have tons of relaxing happening. Their a lot of physical pain they're in goes away, and stress reduces. I've had people tell me that their cravings for the drugs or addictions are just gone, because these work on the emotions too, and a lot of the drugs,
sure,
alcohol and all that is feeds the addiction.
Because one of the things we talk about, and I've heard, and I can attest to my own brain being an alcoholic, is that, and you hear it in AA meetings too, is that my brain is too busy. I can't ever seem to relax, and and it's just, and so we do, in Odyssey House, we talk a lot about meditation, and I suppose this is just an extension of something like that.
Yeah, these are great for meditation.
Do that
too,
again.
So.
I've heard versions of this as a doorbell
Well,
with the chimes.
but if you're sitting there watching that, think about how soothing the sound of that might be, but the feel, you can feel the vibration. You felt it in your hand. How this dates back to how far?
Well, the practice of using these predates Buddhism is, really old.
Thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
And
these bowls here were, between 300 and 500 years old. So.
What do you presume happens physiologically with a person when you do this? I mean, what actually happens? I know you're not a doctor, but
Yeah.
but
So there's a lot that happens. I mean, they work on all levels of the body. So they relax the mind and relax the nervous system. And let's see, where do I start?
in relaxing the mind and the nervous system, then emanates outward for.
So okay, and it puts the body in your body and your mind in a state of not fight or flight, but it gets rid of that and puts your body in a state where it can heal. So a lot of times when our minds are constantly going, our stress level's high.
Yep.
And when our stress is high, our bodies can't heal. So it gets rid of the stress.
Could you help someone who's bone on a big joint?
I don't know.
Okay. 'Cause I know of someone like that who's got his first hockey game on Thursday night and a little nervous about it.
Okay. Yeah, the guy, I've been learning from a guy for about 5 years and going to his workshops when he comes here. And he sees crazy things happen every day with his work. He says he doesn't know what these bowls can't do.
And ironically enough, another Far Eastern, I've only had acupuncture once, but it was wonderful.
Yeah.
35 years ago for an ankle that was really screwed up, and it worked. And sometimes I wonder why I haven't gone back. Because honestly, there's no right or wrong.
Exactly, and it's not like we're endorsing this, just like we weren't endorsing Mindy a few weeks ago saying, yeah, you can drink now if you haven't drank for a while. I mean, but she apparently can, and I hope that's true for her, but why not? I mean, the point is, the way I look at stuff like this, or acupuncture or anything else, it's not going to cause any damage, right?
No. It only helps.
And they're only, nowadays you find medical doctors who will go and become specialists in Far East medicine, be it tinctures, herbs,
right,
some other things. And so you combine the best of science and being a medical doctor with cures and potions and things that have been around for thousands and thousands of years in the Far East. And these people are getting great results.
Well, and the thing, you have to, if you think of people in addiction, and I've known so many now that working at Odyssey House, is so much has to do with the mind. I mean, obviously, if you go through a program at Odyssey, a residential program at Odyssey that could be 4 to 6 months, you're going to be drug free. I mean, or if you go to jail, you're allegedly drug free. But what we work on, and most treatment centers do, is why were you using in the first place? And it all goes back to the brain, the mind. Or childhood trauma, or things like that. So if you can begin to learn how to deal with your mind, then when you get out, it would help erase triggers and things like that. So if something like, have you actually had people say it reduces their urge to use?
Yeah, I had a lady come into me once. She her addiction started with a surgery. I can't remember exactly what she had. She had a surgery done, and after that, she was addicted to alcohol. And the surgery...
That was a more liberal hospital than I went to.
the surgery caused some sort of trauma in her body, and she came with me. We worked through her, I think, in 2 sessions. She was back to normal. I mean, we caught it quick before the trauma really set in. But after 2 sessions, the trauma released from her body. These bowls released trauma, physical and emotional trauma from the body. And she was back to normal. She could go back to work. She couldn't even hold down a job. She came in her first session. She actually came in with an open can of beer. So she was driving with an open can of beer. Not drunk, but she had to have it with her. That's how bad it was.
And she no longer has the problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
You do not know how the human body or the human mind is going to react to things. And if I hearken back to when people can get into recovery, there's a time when if you reach them before they're ready, you're totally wasting your breath. Mm-hmm. But when you talk to someone who is ready, then miracles can happen.
What? How long of if somebody, we should put your information up on the screen so people can get a hold of you.
And
which,
Lee will do it. Yep.
which
Okay.
we will do right now when he edits this. But what are you going to play with that?
I hoped you were
You can play it.
No.
No. That one's for tapping. And then if you want to play around the rim, use one of these.
Jordan, you know what was
You go
funny is
outside.
when you're introduced and you brought these up on the table here, I knew there was no chance I was going to get through the show without playing with
Well,
them.
of course not. You look at these beautiful bowls. I mean, yeah.
But go ahead, I'm sorry. Go.
And so anyway, when somebody comes, somebody would obviously make an appointment and come in for, what do you call it, a session or whatever.
Yeah.
And how long is the session and how much does it cost?
Depends what we're doing. And so like for spot treatments, if you just want a spot treatment, it's about 30 minutes. And I charge $45. If we're doing like a full body thing, it's about an hour and $75.
Very reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonable.
And then with the
Where is your practice located, by the way?
I just have a studio at my house that I work out of.
Okay.
And then for the rehab centers, in a group setting, I charge $350.
For how long?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
Takes about an hour and a half.
And how big of group do you use in a rehab center?
I maximum 20 people.
Okay.
That's about how many people I can work with and how many bowls I have to.
And do a lot of rehab centers avail themselves to your services?
There's a few that I'm working with right now. I'd like to work with more just because I like it so much. But
Some of the people in recovery at our centers obviously are not in the best frame of mind because they're not happy that they're going through what they're going through.
Yeah.
How are you received when you go into a treatment center? They say, "Oh, this kook here with these bowls," or how?
well, the people that have experienced it before are excited to come back and get into it. I have had some people that are just there because they have to be there,
Right.
and they're just kind of.
That's kind of like our viewers.
Yeah. I don't make them do it. I just, we'll sit on the couch. And a lot of times, after they see what's going on, they'll just come lay down and want to receive. And because even if they're not participating, they're in the room with the sounds of the bowls, so they're getting worked on.
Can you play a little bit more? Can you?
Yeah. Yeah, so let's see. This is maybe something I do. And it doesn't just have to be the massage. Everybody can lay down on the ground and, I'll set out about 10 bowls and just play kind of like this. And they can just relax and go into a meditation.
Lee, wake up. Wake
I
up.
know. I do find that relaxing to listen to. What are these? You said these are real from Tibet, and are how old?
On average, between 300 and 500 years old.
How do you get them?
There's some dealers. There's a few dealers online that I've come across that sell the old ones. I've gotten a lot of them from my teacher who goes over to Nepal and finds the old ones. I mean, there's knockoffs, and you just gotta know what you're looking for.
What are they made of?
It's a brass mixture.
And how
There's
much
all
would a bowl
kinds
like
of-
that go for?
The bigger they get, the more expensive.
Okay, well,
This one cost me $2,000
Wow.
for the authentic antiques.
You would want to make sure they're real for that kind of price.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kick the tires,
So,
as it
they're
were.
expensive.
how did you get into this? This is
I went to a demonstration by the guy I've been learning from, and he was talking about all this quantum physics stuff I didn't even know about. It's like, this guy's a kook, I don't know what he's talking about.
when Randall and I go to things like that.
Quantum physics,
Yeah.
what's that? Yeah.
We go to a lot of talks that way.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I just laid down when he was ready to play, and he played the bowls for about 45 minutes. And I sat up and I was like, well, that was kind of dumb. I thought it was 5 minutes. I thought he'd play for 5 minutes.
Wow.
And then somebody asked him how long he played for. He said 45. Looked at my clock. I was like, what the heck? What's going on? And then he came over and sat down in front of me. He looks at me like, you okay? It's like, yeah, I'm doing a no. And I just like fell back and just started crying. I was just
Really?
like, holy crap. Okay, I'm going to the workshop because it takes a lot to open me up.
What were you doing prior to this?
Well, I'm massage therapy for about a year. Before that, I worked at an art foundry building bronze sculptures for almost 10 years.
What do, when you cried, what do you think it brought out?
Oh,
after going through this.
I've had a lot of childhood trauma.
Oh, okay.
That's shut me down emotionally, and I'm still working on opening myself up. But I mean, I've gotten through a lot with the help of these.
And everybody in recovery has suffered some kind of trauma before they got there, or they wouldn't be using substances to numb themselves.
Yeah.
So getting to that point, and that's one of the hardest things. I've talked to a lot of our therapists at Odyssey House. One of the hardest things is getting somebody to come to the point that you came to, where you cried because you were recalling your childhood traumas. And once you recall them and deal with them, they begin to become less significant. So if this does that, I mean, that's incredible. That's why I thought he'd be a good guest, because it's just an alternative way of looking at things.
Sure, and one of the great things about the recovery community is that it's not a dictum. Things are not set in stone.
No.
There's a lot of flexibility. If something works, people are happy to use whatever works, because it just makes a lot of sense, and I'm really impressed. And Odyssey House is I don't want to say the leader, but one of the leaders.
We're the largest,
Yeah.
And whether you say we're the leader or not, I don't know what a leader would be for a treatment center. We haven't used his services, but I do know that some people from other treatment centers watch this podcast out of jealousy or no, but watch the podcast, and if you want to make a call to Jordan and talk about trying it there, and I'm going to talk to our people at Odyssey House. We have so many clients, it would have to be divided into smaller groups because we treat over 700 people a day, but it'd be interesting to try it and just see how they respond. If you told it, I mean, a lot of people in our residential centers are rather skeptical of everything. I think is an understatement, and it'd be interesting to say if we have some guy coming in with bulls that's going to relax you and sort of clear up your mind. I wonder how they'd respond.
Yeah. Well, my first service is always free too.
Oh, really?
Just come in, let you try it out, see what you think, if you like it, if your clients respond to it. I always like it when the therapists come in and experience it too.
That's what I'd want to do is have a group of clients and then a group of therapists to observe what happens while you're doing that.
Well, it's good for the therapist to receive too, so they know what the experience is like.
Good point. I don't know. I'd say this is the podcast is designed to open your mind about addiction and recovery, and I think this is one.
So go ahead, play a little more, will you please?
Okay.
This is fun to listen to. I'm sure the microphone down there picks it up pretty good.
Well, I'm gonna put one on your shoulder. You can feel what it's like to get a mini shoulder massage. It's great for the neck and shoulders. Let's turn a little bit. So, which way should we turn so the camera can see it?
Oh, let's go this way. This is my best side.
Okay, but I can't get to you.
Without a doubt.
I'll come over here. Okay. Right here, like this.
Okay.
So, turn just a little bit more. There we go. So, when the bowl's on the body, you hold it in your hand. You feel your shoulder getting warm?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the bowls activate you to heal. Our bodies can heal, and the bowls were designed to activate you, empower you to heal. And that's what the new bowls don't do. They weren't designed the same way as these old ones. That's why I use old bowls.
Wow.
All the new bowls are powerful. The crystal bowls are great. It's like these are the Ferraris, though, so I like the Ferrari.
Wow. Well, Jordan, thank you so much.
Well,
Ironically,
before you sign off, describe what you felt.
so
I'm
I felt
curious.
like a very fast-paced vibration and a little heat in my shoulder. And I don't know what that's from, but it was very comforting.
Yeah.
And
So,
ironically,
chi is warm. The bowls activate your body's internal chi to heal. So.
Hey,
amazing. So we've got Jordan's contact information at the bottom of the screen, I should say. And first session, if someone wants to come in and learn something, there's no charge to come in and talk to you.
for a group.
Yeah,
you would
for
say.
the groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And individuals, it's pretty reasonable for a half hour. So.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it. Randall,
Are you awake?
I am.
Feeling ready to go out and run a couple of miles now?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get him in the locker room on Thursday night before the first game. But we appreciate you watching. And again, the number for Odyssey House is 801-322-3222.
Correct.
Call that number, and there are people out there that are ready to help. They're not going to try to sign you up for Odyssey House. They're just going to be a nice resource to talk to someone
Sure.
and find out some great groups out there that can help for either you, a loved one, or neighbor, whomever. It's important, and that call will make a big difference. For Jordan and Randall,
Hang
I'm
on.
Trip. Oh,
As you're signing off,
Oh.
a little background sound here. We'll create a
yeah,
sound
that's a
here.
good idea.
See what. Now sign off.
I hope you've enjoyed our show. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.